So you've debated Kamala.
Yeah.
What do you make on her new positions where she's trying to make herself seem more like Donald Trump? And what advice do you have both for President Trump publicly and privately in his preparation for a debate against Kamala Harris?
Well, how does the saying go, Charlie? Imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
Yes. That's right.
So the fact that Kamala Harris is now adopting these policies, apparently she says she stands for freedom and she wants to build a wall and secure our border. She is saying these things because her pollsters are telling her to say them. We should not pay attention to her words because her actions and her record, especially over these last 3.5 years as vice president, one breath away from the presidency, tells a very different story. So we can assume with most of the things that Kamala Harris says, if she is saying she stands for this, really what she really will do as president is the exact opposite. And that's the opportunity that President Trump is going to have on this debate stage on September 10th, is to expose Kamala Harris's lies, her hypocrisy, and the fact that she is truly a phony politician in the worst sense of the word. And she only cares about herself and her own power. She doesn't actually care about the American people, our security, our safety, our freedom, our prosperity. She will say and do whatever she thinks is necessary to win this election. And if allowed to do that, we will see more of the dangerous and disastrous policies that we've seen over the last 3.5 years.
So from a framing, do you think President Trump should embrace a more policy framing, or kind of do what you just did and say that you don't believe anything, you flip-flop, you're all over the place, or should it just be strictly about policy? Should he be willing to say that you're an inauthentic person that nobody voted for, which is a little more dangerous but could be effective?
I don't think it's an either or choice, Charlie. I think the two are very directly connected. And you look at the interaction I had with her on that debate stage in 2019. I confronted her with her record, which was about very real policies, but in doing so, exposed her hypocrisy, exposed her lies, and exposed the fact that what does she really believe in? She had no comeback. She couldn't even justify a record that she claims to have been proud of. And this is, again, the opportunity for President Trump to expose her deeply flawed character, the fact that she is fake, she doesn't care about the American people, and she will do whatever she thinks she needs to get elected by exposing her hypocrisy with her record. I think he'll be able to accomplish both of those things on a factual basis.
Yes, and also, I mean, hopefully the moderators are somewhat fair, but I would love to have her answer why she's screaming like more hawkish than McCain at her party's convention. Can you comment on that, Tulsi? I mean, you had Leon Panetta as the lead-up act, the warm-up act for Kamala Harris, and like a lunatic, she's saying the American fighting force will be a lethal force spreading democracy abroad. I mean, is this George W. Bush or Kamala Harris?
This points again to the contrast between the team of people that President Trump is assembling, people who come from different political backgrounds, but who are completely aligned in this cause of freedom, in this cause of the pursuit of peace, recognizing that war should be a last resort. And this includes Democrats and independents and, of course, Republicans. Whereas you look at Kamala Harris, she is a complete war hawk. She is a complete warmonger, a disciple of the queen of warmongers and Hillary Clinton herself. And the few Republicans that they gathered on that stage at the Democratic convention were more of the neocon war hawks and warmongers from Washington, people like Adam Kinzinger and others. So again, this is not about Democrats versus Republicans. This is about a president who values the lives of every one of our servicemen and women, and who understands the seriousness of the responsibility of serving as commander-in-chief, willing to do what is necessary, whether that means going and meeting Kim Jong-un in the pursuit of peace or working with allies and partners and friends. That is not something Kamala Harris is willing to do. She criticized President Trump for having the courage to go and have that conversation and conduct those negotiations. She is being controlled by the national security state, the deep state, the military-industrial complex, once again, which told her to say those things on that debate stage, showing us all who she really is controlled by and who've been controlling Joe Biden and this White House over these last 3.5 years.
That is such an important point. And I hope every honest Democrat out there, we might disagree on a lot of issues. I think that's what makes, again, a healthy country. But you cannot tell me that you want peace and that you want tranquility abroad and then also vote for Kamala Harris. You just can't. If you vote for Kamala Harris, you want nation-building, warmongering, invading smaller, weaker countries, wars of choice, more Ukraine, more suffering, more displacement, more refugees, period. That the entire cabal that ran the American foreign policy project of George W. Bush is now in complete control of the Kamala Harris campaign. You had Leon Panetta, who as the warm-up act, that guy has been behind every major foreign policy blunder of the last 40 years. And this guy's giving a primetime address at the DNC and getting applause from these lemmings at the DNC.